Videocast number 124, Trash in the Outdoors. A troop or pack in the outdoors has the potential to create a mountain of trash to dispose of on a standard camping weekend. This Scoutmaster Dave talks about the ways to minimize trash and give the Scouts an appreciation of the consumables they leave behind. In some backcountry environments, you must pack out everything you packed in. This can also include your bodily waste. But putting aside bodily waste as it's its own topic, let's talk a little about garbage that gets created while camping. Younger Scouts especially fall victim to a failure to plan properly to minimize the waste they produce. But as leaders, it's our responsibility to teach them to be more thoughtful in the preparation process to minimize the waste. If you don't, those younger Scouts will soon become older Scouts who not only make lots of garbage, but reinforce those bad habits to the younger Scouts, perpetuating the cycle. The preparation process begins when developing your menu and your shopping list. If you're doing patrol cooking, that is cooking with a small group of boys or girls, it's important to first understand portion control. If they're planning on making rice, for instance, and the serving size for a portion is 1/3 of a cup, don't plan on bringing enough to serve a full cup per person. Now, in the woods, I usually plan for a little more as you burn more calories, so let's say if the portion is 1/3 of a cup, plan for half a cup. And if you have 6 Scouts, that means you need 3 cups of rice. From here, you have your first choice, that of a box of rice that contains 3 cups or a larger box that contains 12 cups. The second is more economical, and you can save money in the long run or split a box with another patrol. But in either case, if you're not going to be using the majority of the product, transfer what you need to a plastic bag, or more preferably, a reusable container that makes its way back home. This same decision should be made with each of the ingredients purchased. By doing this, you're going to reduce the containers that are going to go right into the trash. While it's not always possible to avoid all garbage, such as containers for meats, as rewrapping them will use a similar amount of garbage than the original container, prepping in advance and reusing containers can lessen the garbage created. Other items like cans and jars that tend to make it to the trash can usually be transferred to plastic Ziploc bags. What I like to do with canned vegetables, for instance, is to portion it out as needed and add the spices to the veggies. Then you can even freeze it to keep your cold products cold. It also has the benefit of not forgetting the spices, as sometimes while you're out preparing in the outdoors, this does happen. Keeping things cold will usually require ice, which generally comes in plastic bags. To reduce this, you can use reusable plastic bags, or better still, filling 2-liter bottles with water and freezing them. This way you can use the water as it melts as drinking water. For some containers, however, you can upcycle them by using them as fire starter, which will also reduce the trash. Upcycling is also something to consider when planning your purchases. Natural materials like cardboard can be used in fire building, and while not natural, styrofoam cups and cup noodles and tinfoil pans can be used as dinnerware for the weekend instead of throwaway paper goods. In general, paper goods should be looked at as the last resort, in contrast to mess kits that get washed. Even the way you transport supplies out to camp should be reusable. You can use plastic bags as your garbage bags, but even better, using reusable bags to transport food and supplies will keep all that plastic that builds up out of your trash. The same is true for cleanup. Using washable rags and sponges can keep the paper towel to a minimum. So if you've done it right, your trash should contain a small amount of food waste, a few pieces of paper towel, and 1 or 2 plastic bags or food containers for a whole troop, reducing your overall waste. While we're not the best at this, it's important to try and build these skills. Take what you like, leave the rest, as we say in Wood Badge. Feedback is a gift. Leave yours below in the comments with all the hope we can learn together. I'm Scoutmaster Dave, and this was Trash in the Outdoors.